is a story I pulled last week that I wanted to talk about. We didn't get to it, but it was a Business Insider article talking about Target making a seismic shift in retail, and they're going to spend about $3 to $5.5 billion in an effort to compete with, you just mentioned it, Amazon and their e-commerce rivals. They're going to remodel about 600 different locations by 2019, and also open smaller format stores in the next 3 years in cities and in college campuses. Essentially, the CEO is saying we have way too much inventory and we're not at a place where we can compete with an Amazon and these different e-commerce stores. So this really reminded me of that book I read recently, Good to Great, by Jim Collins. And what Walgreens did is essentially they doubled down, and they lost a lot of money for a while in order to make a move for the future. You and I always talk about Blockbuster as the number one analogy. But this is something where Target understands that, yes, we're doing well right now, but if we continue on this path for the next 5 years, we're going to lose ultimately. So we're going to have to spend $5 billion to essentially hit the reset button and make sure that we're ahead of the curve. So, what I took away from this is you got to have self-awareness about yourself and your company. Understand when the industry is changing, make adjustments, and essentially spend $10 a day to make $100 tomorrow. And I give Target credit for being able to understand that, look themselves in the mirror and say, if we don't make some changes quickly, we could be bankrupt in the next 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah, I agree in the strategy shift. I mean, $3 to $5 billion, while that's an enormous whopping number, it seems small to really have that be the way that you're going to compete with Amazon. One thing that I've noticed from Target is some of those smaller retail stores. There's actually one very close to me. There's not enough room for a large Target. It's all small shops, but there's like a Target Express, basically. It doesn't have any Target signage other than the bullseye. But I go there a lot because you can get just about anything. It's got a small grocery section. It's got a little furniture section. It's got whatever you need, basically. Avoid having to go to Walmart or the grocery store if you need to take a quick pit stop. And I believe that's something that Amazon is now getting into. They've got certain retail
There's one
locations.
at UTC in La Jolla, Amazon bookstore.
Seems like Amazon is trying to get the smaller footprint stores into, smaller neighborhoods. Target is trying to do the same thing, plus add the e-commerce portion.
So they announced they would invest $7 billion in the next 3 years to better position the company to compete in the new era. The COO, John Mulligan, essentially said, to put it bluntly, we are slow and we have way too much inventory. That's self-awareness that a lot of companies, Circuit City, Blockbuster, they've refused to say things like that and refused to double down and spend $7 billion over 3 years to essentially, like I said, you have a great product, you have brand awareness, but you got to hit that reset button to make, set yourself up for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, my fear is that it's going to be so difficult for a Walmart or a Target to start competing with an Amazon, because now Amazon's not just the online store, in my opinion. I've used Amazon in the past, but that's not the reason. I'll order something from Walmart online, I'll order something from Target online, that's fine. Why I go to Amazon now almost exclusively is because I can order ice cream and have it come to my house in 1 hour.
But they have to try.
Yeah, so
they can't just throw their hands up and say, well, we'll just keep on doing it and then go bankrupt in 5 years.
Right,
they have
I think
to
they have
attempt.
to really invest in the logistics of actual delivery, and that's maybe something harder to achieve. So, yeah, more power to them, but they are well behind the curve.